Good evening, everybody. Able to hear me? Voice is all loud and clear. Voice is all loud and clear. So let us wait for quick 5 minutes, and there are students who will join. I mean, today we've had a good number of students who joined. Um, तो आज थोड़े नए बच्चे भी आएंगे. Hopefully, a few new joinees are there. So, guys, are you getting any background noise? Okay, perfect. Okay, so we need to begin the discussion on our session that we were doing. Now, obviously, I've given the mains question of the day. So naturally, उसका answer पहले discuss करेंगे. उसके बाद we've got pending the session on world history unification of Germany. Okay, right. Italian unification we have done. So German unification is pending, and we will be seeing the German unification session. Huh. See, the question that I gave you today in the morning was analyze the nature and effects of British Empire's permanent settlement scheme in India. So there were two parts: the nature of permanent settlement and the effects of permanent settlement that you have to discuss. Right? So nature and the effects. Naturally, as you go with every answer, good evening, Pratyusha. See, as you go with every answer, I always say this mains answer from today. These sessions will be also bilingual, so we'll also be doing Hindi. मैं हिंदी में भी बोलूंगा और इंग्लिश में भी बोलूंगा. And if anybody needs any other language, Telugu, Tamil, no problem. You can always ask me, and I can explain you in those languages as well. So this will be language is not a barrier in these sessions. Okay. Now, every mains answer, three parts: I, B, C. Introduction, body, conclusion. These three must be there. Now, introduction part. Lord Cornwallis introduced the permanent settlement in 1793, and which had significant effects and on land tenure, revenue collection, and agricultural practices. So it had effects on three parts: land tenure, revenue collection, and agricultural practices. Here is an analysis of the scheme's essence and effects. Now, the reason why I gave this type of introduction is within the introduction, I'm also telling the examiner what parts I'm going to discuss about permanent settlement. Hi, Ishino. तो यही मतलब इंट्रोडक्शन में ही मैं वो भी बोल रहा हूं कि आंसर में इवैल्यूएटर क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं, किस बारे में एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं, रिगार्डिंग व्हाट they can expect. So they can obviously expect content about land tenure, the revenue collection systems, and also the agricultural practices of India, which obviously Cornwallis had. Now, the nature of the permanent settlement. Now, what is the nature? Permanent settlement as a scheme sought to stabilize the revenue collection system and in the British controlled territories by establishing fixed land taxes. Okay. Now, the idea was to establish fixed land taxes, and the landowners and zamindars who acted as intermediaries between the British administration cultivators were required to pay a zamindari tax, also known as fixed amount of revenue. This tax was fixed forever, and that's why they are called permanent settlement. See, in these type of questions, the problem which students actually go through is they end up writing every detail about permanent settlement. You have to understand the question may they are not asking you the features of permanent settlement. They are only asking you the nature and the effect of permanent settlement. So you don't need to answer the features. Matlab permanent settlement, 10 by 11, 1 by 11, all that not required. If the question talks about permanent settlement features, then that's a different one. So that's why I gave just an introduction. Nature of the permanent settlement, straightforward. The nature was to fix a fixed revenue system. Number two, land ownership and zamindars. The scheme acknowledged and reinforced the existing zamindari system, in which zamindars actually held the land ownership rights. The British government granted the zamindar hereditary privileges and protected the land holdings of the zamindar from incursions and confiscations, thus institutionalizing the landlord tenant relationship and consolidating the zamindar's powers, frequently resulting in exploitation and oppression of tenant farmers. So, land ownership and zamindar. Second dimension I wrote. The third dimension I wanted to discuss as effect and impact is, or effect of the land permanent settlement is impact on revenue collection. The entire intention of the permanent settlement intended to provide British stable and predictable revenue source. मतलब यही तो था, continuous and stable revenue source ही तो ये चाहते थे. I mean, that's what the, don't you think that is why Cornwallis even wanted to establish permanent settlement? Because अंत में for budgetary allocations, Cornwallis wanted to know exactly how much revenue he is even going to end up making from Bengal before making any future plans for Bengal. तो यही तो intention था. So that's why you can use the keywords like fixed tax rates, and revenue collection was varied. Initially fixed tax rates, but also as time passed, fixed tax rates became obsolete and failed to change for productivity, resulting in stagnation and decline. And that's why the revenue collection, although it was fixed, it did not remain very profitable for the government for a longer period of time. The third one, tenant farmers and agricultural practices. Permanent settlement caused a change in agricultural practices. Remember commercialization of agriculture? Basically, cultivation of cash crops such as indigo, opium, sugarcane, rather than sustenance crops. This change led to marginalization of subsistence agriculture and had significant and strong impact on food security. उसके बाद the socio-economic consequences you can also write in permanent settlement. It had extensive socio-economic consequences, basically creating social inequality. Another very important keyword in permanent settlement answers. The landed and the landless, two classes. Zamindars became privileged class, wealthy and powerful, while the tenant farmers became exploited. Oh, सही है. Good Vasu. Guys, by the way, given that Sandeep has reminded me, अगर बीच में class cut वट जाए, so don't worry, that's because there was a power cut. So my generator ons and then things start back. So 5 minutes का अगर gap आए by chance, now it is not there, but just in case, there's been a lot of power fluctuation from morning today. Next, permanent settlement ka impact on society. Permanent settlement disrupted traditional social structures. The system undermined the authority of the traditional local elite, right? It created a new elite, removed the old elite, eroding traditional village-based social fabric and aggravating caste-based hierarchies. And the long-term effect of permanent settlement is pretty simple. It led to subsequent land reforms in India. It served as a template for future land revenue settlements in British controlled territories. During India's struggle for independence, the negative effect of zamindari system led to inequities, became a crucial catalyst for many agrarian movements. Now, look, this was a question which at best needs 250 words. What I've given you is approximately 467 words. After this class, on the Telegram group plus students, I'll share the answer of both yesterday's question and today's question. कल का भूल गया था. Both yesterday's and today's, I'll share these answers. ये PDF ऐसे डाल दूंगा. Save it. Will be quite useful for you anytime in future to refer. Okay. Question answer on the plus students. Yes. I will. Yes. Every mains answer, you will have the answer PDF as well shared in the group. In conclusion, Permanent Settlement Scheme British Empire established a fixed revenue system for the British, granted zamindars their land rights, a new level of land rights, influenced agricultural practices. Although it initially provided stability, it eventually led to socio-economic inequalities and agrarian distress. During the British colonial rule in India, it significantly influenced the land revenue systems, agricultural practices, and socio-economic dynamics of India. So, as I said, in this question, you only in this question में you need to only answer the nature and effect of permanent settlement. No need to answer all the details of permanent settlement. सब कुछ आंसर करने की जरूरत नहीं थी. No need to answer this. इनमें से 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 7 points, even if you would have written 5 or 4, you're done with the answer because that will cover 250 word. Introduction, conclusion, and body. Never ever change the pattern or the style of the answer. And as I say in every mains class, answer what is asked, not what you know. जो आपको पता है वो नहीं, जो पूछा गया वो आंसर करो. Okay, got it, guys? Having said that, let us continue the next important mains topic that we were discussing. See, yesterday I think we had a discussion about the unification movements, and in yesterday's class, I discussed with you regarding Italian unification, and Italian unification was completed, no? अभी हमको देखना है German unification. See, a quick question. Was Italian unification avoidable or not avoidable? अवॉइड हो सकता था इटालियन यूनिफिकेशन? क्या ये पॉसिबल था? हाँ. And in a way, the trigger for Italian unification क्या था? Wasn't it Congress of Vienna? Particularly the Metternich attitude, where they kept saying that Italy is nothing but a geographical expression and nothing more. Yes, the more people started saying that, the more people, Italians felt कि हम Italy, हमारा Italy. See, ऐसा ही एक और कहानी है जर्मनी का. Exactly like this, there is another story of Germany. The background of German unification, you need to remember, is exactly same like Italian. होता क्या था is this region around the Rhine River, Rhine Valley to Russian border. This region used to have 300 small kingdoms. Most of these were actually provinces under the previous Holy Roman Empire. Because the Roman Empire is gone, most of these kingdoms started to become completely independent in themselves. ये सब के सब खुद मुख्तार हो गए थे. They become completely independent. Approximately 1800. If you remember, I told you, just like Italy, Napoleon conquered this Rhine region. He colonized all the 300 states, all the 300 kingdoms which are there in this German region, unified them, and created one country called the Rhine Confederation. He created something called the Rhine Confederation. 300 states were made into 39 state confederation. All these 39 states spoke Deutsch, which is what in English we call German. इसको हम लोग अंग्रेजी में German कहते हैं. और इनका भी एक पार्लियामेंट था called Diet, DIAT. Diet was a representative house of the people of Rhine. Now, this is where the funny part is. There were three places which used to speak Deutsch: the Rhine Confederation, the Kingdom of Prussia and Duchy of Warsaw, and the Austrian Empire. All the three speak German. So all the three together all of them had one idea is to create Germany. इसमें एक ही problem था. If you remember, in Italian unification, who was the brains of Italian unification? Who was the brains of Italian unification? याद है? Cavour? Sardinia का Cavour? Now, what was the condition Cavour said? Cavour will support Italian unification, but under his flag, no? Sardinian flag. इटली में एक था, यहाँ पे दो. Austria wants to combine herself with Rhine Confederation and create Germany. Prussia wants to combine herself with Rhine Confederation and create Germany. But in Austrian Germany, Prussia should not exist. In the Prussian Germany, Austria should not exist. Got it? समझ गए? ये दोनों मिलके एक जर्मनी बनाना चाहते थे. मगर इन दोनों का भी अलग था. ऑस्ट्रिया एंड राइन मिलके एक जर्मनी बनाएंगे, बट उसमें प्रुशिया इज नॉट इनवाइटेड. प्रुशिया एंड राइन मिलके एक जर्मनी बनाएंगे, बट ऑस्ट्रिया इज नॉट इनवाइटेड. दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल द कंपटीशन. And this would work perfectly well as long as Metternich was here. The only problem is, remember 1848 में Metternich खत्म हो गया. Metternich चला गया ना, right? The Congress of Vienna gone. 1848 Metternich left. Congress of Vienna is gone. With Metternich gone, Austria became weak. But यही time में Prussia got a guy called Bismarck. And Bismarck was like Cavour. Very smart, very intelligent. Bismarck was exactly like Cavour. Very smart and very intelligent. It was in this background we see German unification happening. Now, background of German unification, very simple. Same as Italian unification. France occupied Germany or most of the German territory under the Rhine Confederation, or the model which they called the Rhine Confed. Under the Rhine Confederation, naturally, the French message of liberty, equality, and fraternity, it started to spread across Germany. And German people started to believe in this brotherhood of Germans. So Enlightenment principles, Enlightenment ideals, all of these started to go into Germany as well. धीरे धीरे करके until the unification issue, until the Austrian-Prussia dispute is resolved, slowly the German nations, all the three, Austria, Prussia, and Rhine, together planned for a free trade policy. Then slowly free movement of goods. Eventually, it started to grow the German set of nationalism, German idea of nationalism. See, this is exactly same as Italy, right? Italy में भी यही हुआ था ना. First, slowly, they got economically integrated, and then they started to develop politically and socially. Right? Hmm. So the 300 countries were like this. In Italian unification, if you observe, I told you about an institution called Carbonari, which was the first to develop this idea of Italian unification, or the country called Italy. People speaking Italian must live in a country called Italy. बोल के idea बनाए थे सबसे पहले. Something very similar organization was in Germany. Here it was a students association. University Students Association called Burschenschaft. They started developing, in Italian unification it is coal workers, but in German unification it is university students. It started developing the idea of German nationalism in universities. Burschenschaft means students association. Supported German unification, supported the unification of German speaking countries under one flag. At the same time, just like Italian unification, यहाँ पे भी there were many historians, many philosophers who contributed to develop this idea of German nationalism, simply known as und their fatherland. They, in Germany, they do not call about motherland. They have fatherland. They highlighted the common cause for unification of Germany and the belief of cultural unity of Germans. And this slowly developed a spirit of nationalism. Chandramohan sir, Nikhil, Braintree History faculty. And also he teaches with me in Telangana State Study Circle. I know. Why not? Tells. There's the spirit of German nationalism. Particularly Friedrich William Hegel, who developed this Hegelian ideas of greatness. There's one problem with Germany. See, German nationalism was actually built on what we call German romanticism. Matlab, anything becomes great because it is German. You understand? They started developing this, in a way you can also call it jingoism. Yes. Ultra jingoism. Matlab, anything, a thing is great because it is German, not because it is inherently valuable. Just because it is German, it is great. Ye wala idea these people started to develop a lot. German romanticism. And here they started, in romanticism only, they started writing these great songs. Das mir aus Eis, or Deutschland über alles, or Germany above all, Wanderer above the sea fog. a painting by Caspar David Friedrich. You understand, Germans have this inherent idea that they are actually perfect by birth, perfection by birth. This model, there is a slight power cut. Just hold on, guys. German Romanticism. Okay, and they started by 1819. Now you able to hear me? Now it is fine, right? Now it is fine, right? Okay. Doing a quick recap. So slowly, from German Romanticism, people started moving towards development of German economy. So as remember, there was one idea which was proposed that first German states, in order to complete their unification, must unify under one flag of Germany, right? एक तो पहले ये आइडिया आ चुका था कि हमको एक फ्लैग, जर्मन फ्लैग के नीचे बैठना चाहिए, करेक्ट? So they first created a customs union. The customs union was commonly known as Zollverein. They established a customs union of 19 German states. Now, the only thing is, this customs union was actually created by Prussia to economically unite the Rhine states with Prussia. Naturally, do you think Austria will? You're able to hear, right? No, fine, fine. All power is back. तो एक customs union बनाया था. Who made this? Prussia. Now, if Prussia is making customs union, do you think Austria will join this? Do you think Austria would even care to join a customs union made by Prussia? No, right? Definitely no. And that's what happened. By 1834, Rhine states had become completely members of Zollverein, a Zollverein which was actually under control of Prussia. So at least on economic terms, don't you think we can comfortably conclude that Germany was created by Prussia? At least on economic terms. है कि नहीं? Germany is created by Prussia. That we can comfortably and conclusively say. And that's actually what happened. धीरे धीरे करके this customs union Zollverein became one of the most important things, or most important and most significant aspects of the entire unification of Germany's theory, because एक एक करके the entire setup, Rhine Confederation, slowly became almost like a colony, almost like a parallel unit of Prussia. And Austria had remained outside Zollverein. So, unfortunately, except Austria, all other states literally became friends of Prussia, except Austria. Now, इसमें नुकसान किसका, ऑस्ट्रिया का या प्रुशिया का? You tell me. Who's lost? So, because we had some gaps in between, I'm clearing once more the entire story. 300 German nations were occupied by Napoleon when he colonized Germany. Then Napoleon left. Napoleon left a country called Rhine Confederation. Rhine Confederation का northern neighbor was Prussia, southern neighbor was Austria. Austria, Prussia, Rhine. All of these speak the same language, German. So all the three want unification. However, Austria wants to unite with Rhine without Prussia. Prussia wants to unite with Rhine without Austria, because Prussia, Austria are enemies of each other. I mean, they both are powers, so they don't. They were playing the game of powers. Okay, तो ऐसे में it was thought कि पहले ये तो political dispute है unification का. Let us first create an economic union. First, let all the German nations come together economically. उसके बाद we will talk about politically. ये decide किया गया था. Under this decision, Prussia created a customs union called Zollverein, a union of Rhine states with Prussia, where they will do tax-free trade. All states joined Zollverein except Austria, because एक तो Austrian ego did not permit Austria to be part of any organization in which Prussia was a leader. Got it? Naturally, thanks to Zollverein, Prussia got maximum benefit. Literally and virtually, it became the leader of German nations of the entire Rhine Confederation, given that Prussia was the largest economy. And dhire dhire, Prussia also had a very strong prime minister and a very big navy as well. Now, what would Zollverein do? Zollverein creates a common market supported by a customs union, and then also encouraging industrial growth. Dhire dhire, the Rhine nations and Prussia started to develop communication among themselves. From there, they moved into economic progress, finally urging for complete political integration with Prussia. Now, economic progress always leads to political integration. ये हमने देखा है. इटली में यही हुआ था. Once economically they start integrating, they start developing this sense of nationalism, as we see in India as well. Economic progress also led to growth of a group called the German capitalist class, mainly Prussians, and they also wanted the German Empire. It is this part which leads to World War One and World War Two at a later stage. This part led to creation of Germany. No problem, Sandeep. समझ गया समझ. And this part led to German unification. Economic progress urged the German states to get united and form one union, one group. धीरे धीरे करके, this is what Zollverein created. This was the Rhine. This was the Prussian states. And ये बचा Austria. Austria तो बिल्कुल अलग ही हो गया था ना. You can observe this. Austria has virtually become separate. Austria has virtually become separate. And after 1848 revolution, Metternich system gone. Austrian Prime Minister Clemens von Metternich is gone. Austria's control over Germany did not end, but Prussian King Frederick William tried to make the ruler of Germany, but he rejected. ये time में in Prussia, as Metternich entered in Austria, in Prussia we see the coming of a guy called Otto von Bismarck. And Bismarck is that guy who actually believed in blood and iron policy. Matlab, what was blood and iron policy is Bismarck strictly believed that all problems of the world can be resolved by war. जंग से सब कुछ सॉल्व किया जा सकता है. The great questions of the day will not be settled by means of speeches and majority decisions, but by iron and blood. Blood and iron policy of Bismarck. He always believed in blood and iron policy. He never wanted to discuss things. He was like, there is only one way, the military way. And he believed that German unification can also be done only the military way. बंदूक ले लो, point blank सर पे रख दो और ऑस्ट्रिया को बोल दो निकल जाओ, निकल जाएगा. That was idea. 1862, Bismarck became the Chancellor of Prussia. Chancellor basically here means Prime Minister in 1862. From here, Bismarck took the same path as Cavour did for Sardinia. Bismarck believed in total and comprehensive show of violence and strength. And he always believed that all issues can be resolved only through the use of force. He had absolutely no faith in diplomacy and speeches. And for Bismarck, Prussia is not a country with an army. It's an army with a country. Bismarck हमेशा यही कहते थे. Prussia is not a country with an army. It is in fact an army with a country. So typical of Bismarck's Bismarckian thought. Completely typical of the Bismarckian thought. He believed in show of strength. And he believed the unification of Prussia, unification of Germany can be done only by Prussia, with Prussia as its leader and Frederick William, the king of Prussia, as the king of Germany. There was no other way. And इसके लिए he believed in two things. Number one, Austrian drama must end. And also, Bismarck believed that Germany can only be great if France ends. Because Bismarck needed a lot of French territory in the German-French border like Alsace-Lorraine to make Germany great, to make Prussia great. Prussia को इतना powerful बनाने के लिए he needed French territories and Bismarck was very clear on this. तो इसीलिए he created his diplomacy. Same like Cavour. एक तो he developed Prussia into a very big economy. Many German companies were established during Bismarckian period. Many German companies. Germany introduced pension system. Germany introduced workers' rights. development, autobahn or high-speed roads, motorways, railways, you name it, Bismarck did it. He took Germany into an infrastructural growth. And at the same time, he used smart diplomacy. Now, what was Bismarck's smart diplomacy? There were three main problems in German unification to be concluded. Ek to, number one, Denmark had control over areas in the north of Germany. This is the area which we call Schleswig Holstein. नॉर्थ जर्मनी में थोड़े एरियाज थे विच वर अंडर डैनिश कंट्रोल, उनको वापस लेना है. देन Austrian domination over Germany, particularly the southern German states, has to end. Number three, France must be completely thrown out of southern Germany. These three things Bismarck wanted to do, and he did it perfectly. 1864, 1866, 1871. ये दोनों, if you remember, this was Battle of Sedova. This was Battle of Sedina. याद है? During Italian unification, I talked to you about Sedova and Sedina. These were the battles. The Prussian battle and the Austrian battle, the French battle and the Austrian battle. But with Denmark, the story was pretty unique. Now, the war with Denmark happened in 1864. इसका एक clear कारण था. If you guys remember the Congress of Vienna used to have a policy called balance of power. Remember Peter's house? Kondala sir and the other student will both together occupy Peter's house and divide Peter's house into their property to maintain balance of power. हाँ, ऐसे balance of power के लिए ही an area called Schleswig-Holstein. This was actually German area. In order to maintain balance of power, the territory of Schleswig-Holstein was given away to Denmark in 1850. This was German population, German people living on the borders of Denmark and Germany, but they were put under Danish control or Denmark's control, Schleswig-Holstein. ये लोकेशन बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट था बिकॉज स्लेस्विग हॉल्स्टाइन के एकदम बीच में आता है द नॉर्ड स्ट्रीम, द नॉर्दर्न नॉर्थ स्ट्रीम, और लेटर वी कॉल इट किएल कैनाल. आर्कटिक सी और नॉर्थ सी के बीच का जो कैनाल है, नॉर्ड ऑस्ट्री कैनाल, ये आता है यहाँ पे. So this was strategically important for Germany, and majority were German people. Now, in 1848, when the Congress of Vienna system ended, don't you think Germans would expect Schleswig-Holstein to be given back to Germany? Right? German people will naturally expect or anticipate the Schleswig-Holstein is given back to them. ये नहीं हुआ. Ulta in 1864, Denmark attempted to annex these territories completely. पूरा colonize करने पे तुला आया था. Denmark tried to annex these territories. Now, when Denmark tried to annex these territories, Bismarck reacted immediately. He met Austrian ruler Franz Joseph and convinced him for a joint attack. Bismarck's idea was, Bismarck went to Austria and he told Austria, see, तुम्हारा हमारा जो झगड़ा है वो अपना है, पर फिलहाल Schleswig Holstein are Germans. You are also German, I am also German. So let us together first save our Germans, उसके बाद we will decide our future. तो ऑस्ट्रिया को लगा अच्छा है. So together Austria and Prussia formed an alliance for the sake of German people, attacked Denmark and defeated him. Defeated Denmark. Prussian forces defeated Denmark. बदले में Schleswig-Holstein was occupied. Schleswig was kept with Prussia. Holstein was given to Austria. This was very smart arrangement by Bismarck. Schleswig was taken by Prussia. Holstein was taken by Austria. 1864. Very smart diplomacy. Why we call it smart diplomacy is because if this is with Austria and if Prussia and the Rhine Confederation want to unite, they can't because this is Prussia, this is Prussia, this is Prussia, but beach mein Austria. So Bismarck could always blame Austria for unnecessarily occupying a territory in the center, trying to stop German unification. And वही किया इसने. 1864 में Holstein was given to Austria, but Bismarck, 1 year later in 1865, started demanding Holstein with an aim that we want to create Germany, and with Holstein under Austria we can't create it. And Austria was like, ये गलत है. Austria had no allies. Bismarck started instigating the people of Holstein. People of Holstein stood in rebellion. Austria declared war on Bismarck. Battle of Sedova or Battle of Königgrätz. Austria and Prussia fought. Austria was defeated by Prussia. With Austria getting defeated, a 21 states German confederation was created with Prussia and the Rhine Confederation members. And Austria clearly agreed that they will no longer be part of German unification competition. So with Austria gone, अब बिस्मार्क के लिए चैलेंज बचा है फ्रांस. अब फ्रांस का दुकान बंद करना और वो भी जल्दी जल्दी करना. 1866 Treaty of Sedova ended with Treaty of Prague. As a result of Treaty of Prague, Austria was now excluded from German affairs. Austria also agreed on unification of Germany without Austria. And Schleswig-Holstein was given away to Prussia. Venetia became part of Italy. Remember that? In this battle only, Sardinia came in support of Prussia against Austria. Finally, Bismarck assured Austrian neutrality as well in future affairs. Then came integration of Alsace-Lorraine. Now, this was a problem. Between Germany and France, there was a territory, there was the territory of Alsace and Lorraine, very close to Germany and France. And Germany wanted this territory at any cost. Okay. एक प्रॉब्लम था. In Spain and in Luxembourg. Luxembourg was for sale. Okay. In 1866-67, Luxembourg को बेचना था. Prussian king tried to buy. France rejected because Prussians were not Catholics, whereas Luxembourg is Catholic. तो इसलिए थोड़ा dispute था. Luxembourg was Catholic. France is Catholic. Prussians are Protestants. So because Protestants should not get involved into Catholic affair, बोल protest था, which Prussia also agreed, and Luxembourg was not a huge territory as well. So Prussia never really worried about it. They tried. They could not buy. Prussia withdrew. It's okay. In the year 1867-68, French Foreign Minister Gramont sent a letter to Prussian King Frederick William. asking him a written guarantee that Prussia will never demand candidacy in Europe again. फिर से कोई और देश पे परचेस करने का या कॉलोनाइजेशन करने का अटेम्प्ट नहीं करेगा बोल के रिटर्न में चाहिए था. And the way the letter was documented is there was an inherent threat from France that if Prussia does not give a written guarantee, France will attack Prussia. एक तरीके से धमकी था ये. Unfortunately, this letter was sent to a place called Elms. वहां पे Prussian king was not there, but Bismarck was. Bismarck was actually in Elms. Bismarck took this letter, published it in newspaper, and started instigating the people of Germany, saying that France is threatening German king. France Germany को धमकी दे रहा है. He started instigating people. He used that simple letter as a reason to create a sense of fear among Germans. Bismarck, there in that letter there was also one more guarantee about Spain. Spain में भी same thing हुआ था. Spain में Queen Isabella died without any children. So the Spanish throne was open for position. William wanted to apply. France said no. Same logic. Protestant Catholic वाला logic. France said ना 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 Spain में मत आना. William was like okay fine नहीं आऊंगा. वो लेटर में ये भी था कि स्पेन में भी कभी अप्लाई नहीं करोगे. This guarantee was also demanded. The guarantee, the letter, the funny part is letter never actually went to the king because king was in holiday in Switzerland. Letter went to Bismarck. Bismarck was waiting for an opportunity and मिल गया. He started instigating the people of France, people of Germany. Bismarck manipulated the situation by making the Prussian king took it as if he was very, very hostile to French, and he made it look as if the French were humiliating the Prussian king and thus humiliating the Prussian people and the German people in the fatherland. Using this opportunity, he provoked chaos, leading to Franco-Prussian War. He in the Battle of Sedina. All the German states united together and defeated Bismarck, defeated France. And a treaty was signed called the Treaty of Frankfurt. And the funny part is the Treaty of Frankfurt established Germany. This Germany was commonly called the Second Reich. The First Reich is Holy Roman Empire. Second Reich is this Germany. Third Reich is Hitler's Germany. In German, the word Reich means government. R-E-I-C-H. Reich means government. First Reich, Second Reich, and Third Reich. The funny part is, Second Reich, or that is Germany as a nation, was created in the Palace of Versailles in France. France was punished in this treaty. France had to give away the territory of Alsace and Lorraine. William I was declared the Emperor of Germany, and France was punished. In the Palace of Versailles, King William I was declared the Prussian Emperor. Bismarck's plan to unify Germany was now complete in total. And France was particularly punished. Alsace-Lorraine was taken away from France. France also was made to give a total war penalty of 5 billion gold coins or gold franc. Also, France had to support an occupying German army economically and politically and socially. As a result, in 1871, William I became Kaiser, the emperor. Bismarck became the chancellor of Germany. In Germany, however, it was still a confederation. Every state had a local ruler, an army, and handled his own domestic affairs. Kaiser was only the in charge of the national government. And by 1871, a new nation was coming, Germany and also Italy. Now I'll tell you the funny part. See, pehle they became Austro-Hungarian Empire, France, Spain, Belgium, England. These people became nation states, right? Yes, may right. In the unification movement, we see the creation of Germany and Italy. Between 1900 to 1914, we see the development of nationalism in this part. Serbia, Bulgaria, Romania, Montenegro, Albania, Greece, Yugoslavia, Macedonia, commonly called the Eastern Europe or the Balkan Europe. This is what led to World War I. When nationalism started in Eastern Europe, it led to World War I. And yes, you're right, Parth. ये जो ट्रीटी ऑफ फ्रैंकफर्ट में फ्रांस को पनिशमेंट दिया जर्मनी ने इसका एकदम रिवर्स वाज ट्रीटी ऑफ वर्साइल where France wanted to take punishment. France wanted to put punishment on Germany. Treaty of Versailles was a revenge treaty. Exactly, it was a revenge treaty. It was purely a revenge treaty. Hmm. So unification movements were finally done. Yes, Europe is a mess. Europe is indeed a mess. We will end the session here today, guys. Let us meet tomorrow in the tomorrow morning, no class. Tomorrow morning, no class. Tomorrow evening, we will have a session. It's a Sunday. We will try to have a session where we will see World War One, the story and the background of World War One. Mains of the day question to kal aega. Tomorrow, I'll give you the mains of the day question. Morning 8 o'clock class we will not have. MCQ class will resume from Monday morning and mains question classes will continue. Okay. Thank you guys. You have a nice day. I'll see you tomorrow evening. Bye-bye.